Happy Saturday. All right. I hope you are enjoying your Saturday or whenever you happen to be on. This is Yoga with Tianna. We are live. Hello, hello. Welcome. Good morning. I see we got my moderator Twitch on here. Good morning. Let's roll. We got Tamisha. Good morning. Hello. I hope your Saturday is off to a good start as well. All right. We're getting started. Of course, we have to pick our intention word. Now, I have been told I take too long to get to the yoga, so I'm going to make sure we get to the intention word right away. All right. Because I like to pick this word live. And I don't know about you. Let me know. It could change. Ooh. Everything. I tell you, that's what counts. So what I'm going to do to save time, instead of putting the cards away, I'm going to put that away later. I'm going to move it off to the side. I already took out the other one, and I'm going to put this one in. Because I still like to pick it live. I love getting feedback, and I take it. Thank you. And I try to make it easier for you as the viewer. But, I mean, I'm not the yoga teacher for everybody, and that's all right. So, let's get into this intention word. It's a perfect word for the day, by the way. Expectations. You know, when you're navigating other people's expectations of you, you're like, hey, I get what you're saying. I'm going to take that in, but I'm also going to still do what's in my heart. So managing those expectations, I feel like that's a perfect word. Perfect word. All right, we're going to get into our practice. Today, we're doing 30 minutes, and if you haven't realized, all of the classes have been 30 minutes these days, and I love it. I love it. Thank you to my moderator for putting the word inside of the chat, and we're going to go with that expectations today. It is Stress Awareness Month, and you know what? Don't let nobody stress you. And not only for just the month of Stress Awareness Month, but every day. Don't let anyone stress you. It's so important. We have to take in what people say, but sometimes you gotta let it slide. And you can take the good and discard the rest, right? So, again, we're gonna get into the yoga because I know that's what you came here for. And remember, expectations is the intention word. So we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves down on the mat. Find a nice, comfortable seat for you. If you notice, I have a nice little mat today. This is a new mat. Thank you to RT's Nation for providing this mat for me. It's beautiful. I love it. And we're going to practice on this mat today. So just let yourself get nice and relaxed. Breathe in. Exhale all of the stress. Let your shoulders come down. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale and release. And as you think about that word expectations, or maybe some other word that's calling for you today, remember the expectations of this practice is to stay in it, right? To listen to your body. That's the expectation. So I want you to go with that expectation. Maybe today is not the day to do all of the postures, but I want you to do what feels good for you, all right? Let's take one more nice cleansing breath. Let your body relax here. Let's take our right ear, right shoulder, and take it back up to center. Left ear, left shoulder. And take it back up to center. Chin down towards the chest. And gently begin to bring the chin all the way up towards the ceiling. On that exhale, let's bring it back to center. Just give it a little rock. Rolling those shoulders all the way back. And then let's take a pause. Let's bring those shoulders forward. Let's bring those hands by our side as we take our arms up overhead. Inhale up. Exhale, let's bring it down. I'm gonna take it down onto my mat. So take those hands down into the front of the mat. Relax your forearms here. Maybe give it a little rock from side to side. Now I will say, this mat is really nice. It smells so good. So when I bring my head down, it's like, woo. All right, let's walk it up. Let's take our feet out in front of us. Let's flex and point the toes down, maybe a little wiggle. Flex the toes back. Keep that slight bend into the knee and point the toes down. Flex the toes back and point the toes down. Very nice. I want you to bring both knees towards the chest. So feet flat on the mat, knees bent. We're going to bring our head towards our knee. I want you to give it a little rock from side to side. So we're not stressing our bodies too much. We're going to take it nice and slow. I want you to take one leg down. So I'm going to take my right leg down. And you can keep that left knee in. And again, lean towards the knee. Maybe you start to feel that lower back start to come into the play and start to get into that stretch. We're going to bring our spine up to neutral. We're going to take that left hand, bring it behind us, and twist towards the left. Just opening our chest, opening up our upper back. Gently come back to center. We're going to swap out the legs. So take it in. Leaning towards that knee. Again, maybe a little rock from left to right. Let's take it up to neutral and again turn towards the opposite side. We're not going to force this posture, just letting it happen the way it does. Gently coming back to center. We're going to let both feet come down. Flex your toes, keeping that slight bend in the knees. Let's start to hinge it forward. We can bring those hands down towards the feet. Lifting through the chest. Maybe here is where you want to be, and that's okay. Stay where it feels good to you. Once you start feeling that sensation of that stretch, maybe you stay right there. Only if it feels good is when you can start to gaze and bring it forward a little bit more and start to inch those feet, the hands forward. Maybe you give it that little rock. Whatever feels good to you. Just relax the shoulders. Continue to breathe. And on that inhale, let's slowly begin to come all the way up. We're going to take those knees, bend them again, but this time we're going to butterfly out the knees. Let's take it around in a circle. So take it around. This is nice and slow. We're thinking about releasing that stress in the body. And where do we hold a lot of that stress? Our shoulders? Our back? Yes. We want to just relieve a little bit of that stress. Let's reverse our circles. You're welcome to place hands here for your circles. Place hands onto your thighs. Let's take one more rotation around. And we're going to pause at the top. We're going to take our knees to one side. Let's come to our tabletop position. You got this. And if you haven't set your watch, because I always forget, feel free. You can set it now. No time like the present. There we go. All right. I set mine. You set yours. Let's take those knees to stack right under the hips. Our wrists to be right under the shoulders. And we're going to start our cow cats. These These are really great first thing in the morning. Lower the belly down, gaze up. Exhale, arch the spine, tuck the toes, chin to chest. Inhale, reverse. Exhale and arch. And I want you to do this to your breath. I want you to do about 3 more. So maybe you hold in one position for about 2 or 3 breaths. And then you reverse. And maybe you hold there. Whatever feels good to you. Remember, this is your practice. I want you to do what feels good and natural for you. And when you're done, we're going to come to that neutral tabletop position. We're going to extend that right leg long. So I'm going to extend my right leg out, flexing that heel towards the ground. I'm going to even out my hips, bringing that hip back in line, neutral with the ground. Taking that knee in. I'm going to swap to the other side. So extend the other leg out nice and long. Again, bring that hip to be nice and neutral. Take it back in. Give it a rock from left to right. This is our stress-busting flow. So you got this. Stress-busting flow. All right. We're going to bring our toes, tuck them in. Bring the heels back. Little toe stretch here. I'm going to bring my forearms down. Get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Rest my forehead on the mat. Gently untuck your toes. Let's take a child's pose here. Relax your hips. Taking 2 cycles of breath. Relax your shoulders. Gazing towards your hands, we're going to come up for our first downward facing dog. So tuck your toes. This is our first downward facing dog. So we pedal our feet, bending opposite knees. Remember, hang out here on one side as long as you wish. This is your practice. And when you're ready, let's bring those heels back. Gaze up towards the belly. Take 2 more full cycles of breath here in our downward facing dog. Shift the weight towards your heels. Let's walk our hands to our feet. Walk it towards the back of the mat. Very generous bend into our knees with our bellies on the thighs. We're going to hang out here in this forward fold. We want to take our time as stress leaves the body. We want to take it slow. Really focusing on that exhale. That inhale is going to come. Let the head relax, shaking it yes and no. Gently grabbing opposite elbows for our ragdoll pose. Getting a little bit deeper into that forward fold. Release the tension on the belly. Shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Let's release the hands. Let's come to stillness in that forward fold. And on that inhale, press into your feet. Let's come all the way up. Nice and slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bringing those arms overhead. Maybe taking the hands to touch. Gaze up towards the ceiling. And on that exhale, let's bring those hands down. Whew. Let's walk to the top of our mat. How is that? We take it nice and slow. Give yourself that opportunity to just, whew. How often do you breathe, all right? So we're gonna take this flow and we're gonna go slow, but we're still gonna flow it out. So we're gonna do our sun salutation, but we're gonna mix a little bit of that B sun salutation in there. Are you ready? All right, so let's bring it into mountain pose. Inhale, we bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, we hinge it forward. Remember that hinge is at the hip. Forward fold. Let's take our flat back. Plant the hands. We're gonna step back immediately to our downward facing dog. Let's take 2 breaths right here. Let's come to our forward fold, front or back of the mat, whatever feels good to you. On that inhale, let's rise all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold, bring it all the way down. Let's take our flat back. Plant the hand, step it back, downward facing dog. And let's begin to bring that right leg forward. So we're going to take that right leg forward, take it in between the hands. Let's frame the hands with our foot. So let's bring that foot in the middle. We're going to keep on the ball of the back foot. So keep the toe tracking forward. Let's place a bend into the front knee. We can take our right hand to the right thigh. Begin to come all the way up. Once you're nice and stable and grounded, let's bring it up for a high crescent lunge. Breathe. Maybe get a little bit deeper into that bend. On that exhale, let's pivot it out. Warrior 2. Bend into that front knee. Let's straighten our front leg. And let's place the bend right back into it. Straighten the leg. Bend. You got this. Straighten. Bend. Remember, we're taking it nice and slow. Straighten. And bend. Keep me honest. I think we're trying to do 5. Keep me honest. I think we have 1 more. And bend. Let's straighten. This time we're going to go ahead and take a triangle pose. So shift the weight forward. Ooh, how did that feel? My body said, okay, I feel that one. Let's place that hand down towards the shin. Let's gaze up towards that back hand. Open it out. We're taking it nice and slow. Breathe. On that inhale, let's reverse. We're going to reverse that warrior. Put the bend back into the knee. Gaze up towards the ceiling. On that exhale, let's windmill the hands. Pivot that back foot forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Paddle your feet. We're going to do that same thing, but this time on the opposite side. So let's bring the opposite leg forward. Frame the hands. Staying on the ball of that back foot, readjust your hips. Remember, you can hold on to the thigh right here and bring yourself up once you're nice and stable. You can bring both arms up overhead. We're bending into that front knee, high crescent lunge. Breathe. Let's open it out. Warrior 2. Let's straighten the leg and bend. Straighten, bend. Whew. One side is always different. Straighten and bend. All right, I've been counting. That one was 3. We have 2 more just like that. So straighten the leg and bend. Yes. Are you feeling this side? Straighten the leg and bend. Whew. All right, let's straighten our leg. Remember, we got to do our triangle pose. So shift it forward. Place that hand down. Let's gaze up towards that back hand. Breathe. We're stacking shoulder over shoulder. And let's go ahead and reverse our warrior. Place the bend into the knee. Reverse. Let's windmill down our hands. We step it back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Get stillness in those heels. Shift the weight back to your downward facing dog. Let those hips surrender down. Bringing the gaze towards the hands. We're going to walk the feet towards the hands or hands towards the feet in your forward fold, whichever way you'd like to get there. Shift the weight into the balls of your feet wherever you are. Let's go ahead and give it a rock from left to right. Press into the feet. I want you to begin to squat down. So squat your bottom down. We're going to have a seat in our chair. Breathe. Nothing gives that focus like a chair pose. I swear, it really. Oof. Breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths here in that chair pose. Nice slow breath. We're feeling it all. And on that exhale, let's bring those hands down by our side. Let's come all the way down to our seat. Woof. Let's take those feet out in front. Flexing our toes back. Pointing our toes down. Let's place a bend into the knee. And if you'd like to bring yourself a little bit forward, you can, so you have enough room. Luckily, this mat is very long. I don't have to scoot forward. Let's bring our hands towards the back of our thigh. We're going to tuck our tailbone under, and we're going to curl all the way onto our back. You can bring your knees with you. Come nice and gently. Hug those knees into the chest. Give it a rock from left to right. We're going to take our hands out to a T. Let our knees fall to the right side. Gaze away from your knees. This is a really nice stress-reducing posture. You can do this in bed. You can do this on your yoga mat. Take 2 more full cycles of breath. Let's bring our knees back into our chest and over to the opposite side. Gaze away from your knees. Let's take 1 more full cycle of breath. Let's Take it back to center. Come back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. We're going to relax that right leg nice and long. Let the leg fall onto the ground. And we're going to cross the left thigh over the right. Again, look back towards that back hand. You can take the hand that's closest to the knee onto the thigh, as long as it's not the knee. Give yourself that space between the ribs and the hips. Allow that hip to soften. Taking one more full cycle of breath. Let's gently bring it back onto our back. Let's swap out the legs nice and slow. Hugging the right knee into the chest this time. I'm feeling inclined to give it a little rock to side, so that's up to you. That's optional. And let's go ahead and cross that knee over the body. Hand can be on the thigh. Look back towards your back hand. Again, releasing that tension in the hips. Allowing your shoulders to open up. Maybe it doesn't touch the ground, and that's okay. Remember, release those expectations. Your expectation is to just finish the practice how you want to finish it. Gently come back onto your back. We're going to hug both knees again into our chest and take those feet up towards the ceiling, allowing your body to just be flat on the mat. Tailbone is tucked, lower back is on the mat. Flex the toes. Let's point the toes up. Flex the toes back. We're going to bring those arms overhead. Maybe they can just hang out overhead if that feels good. We're going to begin to point those toes up and lower the feet all the way down. Nice and slow, engaging your lower body. Bring it down nice and slow until your feet touch the ground. Once your feet touch the ground, feel free to just give it a little wiggle. We can bring those hands down by our side. Palms can be up or down. Whatever feels good to you. This is your practice. You can allow your body to hang out here. Or maybe it's yogi's choice. Maybe you'd like to take any posture that feels good to you. So maybe you can take a little half happy baby, taking one foot, bringing it up, holding the top of that foot. You can lower it down. We take half happy baby on the other side. This really stretches the inner thighs, the hamstrings, and the quads. And slowly begin to release. And I want you to place those knees bent. We want to relieve that tension in the lower back and shoulders, which is really good for stress relief. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep those knees bent. I'm going to come here off to the side, keeping those knees bent. We're going to take our Shavasana just like this. So just allow your body to relax here. Taking a nice deep inhale in. And exhale, breathe out. Relieving the tension in the feet. Allowing those knees to open and start to soften. And just allow your body to relax. Release the fingers. Allow the lower body to relax. And breathe. Release the head. Release the shoulders. Allow the body to relax. Release the head. And relax the body. Taking 2 full cycles of breath. Take 1 more full cycle of breath. Let's hug the knees into the chest. We're going to rock over to one side, cradle your head. We're going to take that top hand, gently begin to bring it up to a comfortable seat. And go ahead and bring yourself to a seated position. We're going to bring those hands to heart center. I thank you so much for being a part of this slow flow. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember, you checked off something. You have done what you need to do. You can relax for the rest of the day, or maybe you just get into your day. I thank you so much for the practice. I can't wait to practice with you again. Namaste. All right. Ooh. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Who do we have? I see we have a couple people. Yes. Breathe. Woo. All right. It's always good to get into the practice. It's always great to just enjoy yourself. Woo. That was a good practice. I see we have, oh yes, amen to not letting nobody stress you. Yes. Yes, okay, getting ready for class time, last house stretch. All right, Michael, I got you. Great practice. Hey, Tangi, hello, welcome back. It's been a while. I hope you've been good running those races and doing your stuff. I see you. All right, I thank you so much for being a part of the practice. I am going to be getting ready for the yoga retreat. I can't wait. Woo, it's coming. So you might see me pop up somewhere different. So look for that. All right, you needed that stress relief? That's good. We all need a stress relief sometimes. You know, life can be stressful. And you know, it doesn't have to be, because it's something that we can say, you know what? Life may be stressful, but I'm not going to let it get in here, right? We're going to, again, we can take those things in and we just let it slide right off. We can say, all right, I am having a stressful moment, but I am not stressed. We're separating ourselves from the stress, right? I am having a stressful moment. I'm going to be in that moment, and then I'm going to woosah, and I'm going to keep going. That's how we do it, all right? Can't wait to practice with you again. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know we got something here and we're going to keep it going. Remember, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'd like to thank Artisan Nation for my lovely yoga mat. It is a nice hand-woven mat. And so I will come back so you can see it. It is really nice, has grippers on the bottom, and it actually grips you here, and I love that. So it really kept me really nice in the practice. And it's nice and cushiony in the middle. Lovely, long mat that has essential oils. So super love it. If you like it, check out Artisan Nation. I'll put the link and all the things. So thank you so much, and I will see you again next time. Peace.